Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be sharing with you some very addicting romance series that you can binge right now. These are all going to be series that are completed and all of the books are available for your binging purposes. I have kind of a variety of romance subgenres. Some of these are dark romances. I have some fantasy ones, some historical, some very like erotic romances. So hopefully there is a series in here for everybody. Now, some of these series I have read every single book, and other ones I'm still working my way through, but they're all ones that I definitely recommend. I think are super addicting and so bingeable. The first one is probably the newest one that I have started, and that is The Surviving Trace by Kalia Reed. This is a time travel historical book that I highly recommend for people who like Outlander. It has very similar vibes, except it takes place in a totally different time period. In this one, the main character time travels back to 1912 America, and she finds herself married to this really grumpy man who hates her, and they have to work together in order to figure out how she got there and how she can get back home, and they end up falling in love and she no longer wants to leave. There's also this like subplot mystery of somebody betraying the guy, and she's trying to figure out who it is. And yeah, I loved this. It ends on a total cliffhanger, so this is definitely a series to binge, and all 3 books in the trilogy are out now, and there's also a spin-off series. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, all of the books are currently available on there. I will let you guys know as we're going through these series which ones are available on KU, because quite a few of them are. So then the next series is Bad Saint by Monica James. I actually don't know if that's what this series is called. That's what the first book is called. This is a dark romance trilogy about this woman who gets married and she's on her honeymoon, and while she's in the hotel, these men break into her hotel room and kidnap her, and she wakes up on a ship heading somewhere. The ship ends up wrecking and she becomes stranded with one of her kidnappers, and they have to learn to work together in order to survive. This whole trilogy follows this same couple, so it is like an ongoing series following their storyline, and it's just so good, so binge-worthy. I think that I read this whole trilogy in like a weekend. I just devoured it. So yeah, if you are looking for a very fun but also dark kidnapping captive romance, I highly recommend this one. The next series is the Bridge Kingdom series. I did say that all of these series are completed. However, this is the only one that technically is not completed. This series is going to be a bunch of duologies, and each duology is following a different couple in this world. So the first duology, The Bridge Kingdom and The Traitor Queen, are both already out, so you can read those. They're following the same couple. This is a fantasy romance series that is so much fun. It's one of my favorites. There is so much political intrigue in this world. It's an arranged marriage between the king of one nation and the princess of another, except she has been tasked to murder him. So when she marries him, she is trying to figure out a way to kill him, and they end up falling in love. So it is definitely an enemies to lovers romance in both books, and I love it. I'm so excited for the rest of the series, which is going to be following different couples, because I just want to see more of this fantasy world. It is very lush and intricate. The world building is great. Like I said, the first 2 books are out, and they are kind of its own story that is completed. The next one is the Outlaws series by Elle Kennedy. This is probably like her least popular series. You probably know Elle Kennedy from her Off-Campus series or any of her like sports romances, but this is a post-apocalyptic kind of dystopian trilogy that she wrote, and it is my favorite thing that she's ever written. It is so much fun. It takes place in like a post-apocalyptic dystopia society where there is like the main government and society where everyone lives in this like walled off city, and then outside of the city, out in like the desert, where the outlaws live. And so this trilogy follows a group of outlaws and all of their romances. It is super sex positive. There's a lot of action and like really great plot. It's not just a sexy book. The plot is so great, and I loved every single book in this trilogy. Oh, I go back and forth. The second one and the third one are definitely like the best of the series. The second book has a really great friends to lovers romance, and then the third book is polyamorous, but hands down this is like one of my favorite post-apocalyptic romance series. For Elle Kennedy being such a popular author, this series does not get enough attention. The next one is The Initiation by Nikki Sloan. Nikki Sloan is an author that I have recently become so obsessed with. Her Filthy Rich Americans series is where my obsession began. This trilogy follows the same couple throughout. So this is about a couple who have an arranged marriage, and in the first book, part of that marriage is the girl has to take part in this like traditional initiation ceremony as part of this kind of like secret organization, whatever, and there's a lot of mystery around what the initiation actually is and what she's gonna have to do. It's wild. Like the first book, you start reading it and it seems just like a typical contemporary, like rich people romance. And then it totally takes a turn into the wild side. So this trilogy follows that couple. It also has the trope of like the father-in-law, because the guy has a very dominating dad who takes an interest in his son's wife. It's crazy, it's wild. There's also a spin-off following the father-in-law, which I haven't read that one yet. I've only read the original 3 books, but they are so addicting. This is another series that I read in a weekend and I was just obsessed with. And these are not on Kindle Unlimited, but the ebook for The Initiation is currently free on Kindle. I don't know how long it is going to be free, but as of filming it right now, it is free. The next one was actually what gave me the inspiration for this video, and that is Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. You guys have probably heard me talk about this series before, but if you haven't, you've probably heard about it on TikTok. For some reason, this series all of a sudden is popping off on TikTok, which I love because I really love the series. I read it a couple years ago and I sort of went into it as like a joke. I thought that I was gonna hate it but like have a fun time. I ended up absolutely loving it. So this is a sci-fi alien romance series. It follows a group of women who crash land on this alien planet that is habitated by blue horned aliens, and every single book is a different woman in this group pairing off with a different alien. And this series, it's just like, this is the definition of a bingeable series. It is so quick, so fun. They're literally like candy. If you are kind of like hesitant on the idea of reading an alien romance, I just recommend reading the first book. Give it a try. You might surprise yourself. The amount of people who have messaged me being like, I thought Ice Planet Barbarian sounded so weird, and then I read it and I understand now. It is weird, but they're so good. And the entire series is on Kindle Unlimited. There's like 20 books in this series. I think there's 2 spin-off series. There's literally so much blue alien content for you to read. The next one is the White Monarch series by Jessica Hawkins. The first book is called Violent Delights. This is a cartel romance. Basically, the main character is the daughter of a cartel leader, and when she is a child, she finds her mother's dead body and sees the person that she believes killed her mom. And now she is an adult and her mother's killer has come back into her life. It's such a good series. Another one that is super bingeable because the first book ends on like the biggest cliffhanger. It's a trilogy. All the books are out. So if you are looking for like a dark, very enemies to lovers series, because she hates this man, but she's also attracted to him and intrigued by him, and he really, really wants her. And there's also like the added angst that she's dating his brother. There's a lot going on in this book. It's so much fun. And then the last series that I'm going to recommend is the Wicked Villains series. I have 4 of the books right here, but there are 6 books in total. These are by Katie Robert. I could not go through this video without recommending something by my queen. This series are Disney romances where the villain gets the girl. So the first book is Jasmine and Jafar. The second book is Hades, Meg, and Hercules. The third book is Hook and Tinkerbell. Then we have Belle, the Beast, and Gaston. Then we have Ursula and the Little Mermaid. Lastly, Aurora and Maleficent. This series is just so much fun. They're all connected because they take place in this underground sex club that is run by Hades. It's so steamy. There's like crime, menages, there's BDSM elements, and all 6 books are currently available to read. So those were my recommendations for addicting romance series that you can binge right now. Definitely let me know if you end up reading any of these romances and what you think of them. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!